Hello. This short movie explains how to use this simulator in order to test different settings of 1D motion of a car. We have here the yellow area, which is representing the execution, the information, the graphs of the displacement, the velocity and acceleration. And on the green area we can control the initial information of the execution. We have here the initial position. Currently it says it is 0, and 0 is over here where the car is. You can change the initial position to be whatever you want between 0 and 15 meters. You can control the initial velocity. It can be either positive or negative, and it is in meters per second. And we can also control the acceleration. Again, it can be positive or negative, and it is in units of meters per second square. We have these two radio buttons here. One it is vector of velocity, and one it is vector of acceleration. In a minute we will show that when the car is in motion, there is a vector sign in its front or in its back showing either the velocity or the acceleration. This vector, this arrow, changes its magnitude, its length, according to the size of the velocity of or the acceleration. So let's take an initial test. We will put initial velocity 0 and acceleration 1 meters per second square, and we will leave it on vector velocity. Look at the car. Once I hit the start button, you will see the car starts to move, and there is a arrow at the head of it, and the arrow is getting bigger as the car is traveling faster. So this is the change. If we put a vector of acceleration and we will hit the start button, you will see that there is a constant blue arrow with a constant length, because our acceleration is constant and equal to 1. To stop the motion, click reset. To stop the motion, click pause, and it will halt the execution. Reset will clear all the data and start a new execution. Let's pay attention now to the graphs while we are executing. Let's give it an initial velocity of 5 and acceleration will remain the same, and we'll click start. Once the execution starts, you will see that the graph of displacement here is in red, the velocity here is purple, and the acceleration is blue. I'll hit pause and let's speak a little bit about it. So the acceleration is constant. We see a constant line in value 1. Since we have acceleration, then our velocity is a straight line heading in positive direction because the acceleration is positive. And the x, the displacement, it is a little bit hard to see in this case, but this is a parabola, because the displacement is described with a quadratic equation where the time is the parameter. Okay? Now if the motion is too rapid to see, we can click here on the slow motion and the execution will be done slower. Let's change the acceleration for 3 meters per second square, and I click the slow motion and we'll click start. So now the execution is running 10 times slower, allowing you to see how the values here are changing, okay, and how the graph is generated, and you can see changes. If there are rapid changes in motion, you can see them by using slow motion. So this is in general how we use this simulator. It's very easy, and you can generate here different sets of executions. Let's say I will move the initial position to be 35, and I'll tell it to move in negative x direction, so it will be -5, and the acceleration is 2. If I hit, let's take off the slow motion check, if I hit the start button, you will see the car move to 35. Now it is traveling with initial velocity of -5. Oh, the slow motion is on, sorry. And the graphs show the same. The x graph show it is going in negative direction. The velocity is increasing because there is a positive acceleration of 2. And now you can see on the x graph that this is a parabola. It started going in negative direction, then it got to the point where the velocity was 0 here, and now it changed direction and it starts moving in positive direction. So that's it. Have fun and good luck with the experiment.